Hello. Hello to those of you who are a bit early, just like I am. I thought I would log in just to make sure that everything's working. I think it does. We'll see. So we'll give it a minute as usual. I'll just do this. Hope you're having a good day and morning so far, and that you're ready to do this, because I know I am. I always feel like a bit of a broken record first minutes of a webinar, since we obviously, of course, want to give everyone a minute to grab a cup of coffee, get your water, find some peace and quiet, and all of that. So we'll give it just a minute. So run to the bathroom or, get comfortable. That's what I want to say. I'm excited today. It's the first webinar of the year. So I haven't had one in a month or so, which kind of brought me back to a little bit doing it for the first time, meaning I'm nervous as always, but should be fine, right? Please, if you want to say hello in the chat, tell me where you're located, where you're viewing this from. I'm in Stockholm. Storykit's in Stockholm. The main office, headquarters, is in Stockholm. It's a lovely day with sunshine, some snow left, so it's a good day. But I think people are still joining, but I think it's time to get started so that I don't waste your valuable time. So hi, everyone, and welcome to today's session. We're gonna talk about how to reach our social media goals for this year. It feels a bit more difficult than ever. I've been talking to some other marketers and social media people around, like in my network, and it's a struggle right now. I mean, impressions and reach and like engagement down for a lot of people. So but we're in it together, and we're just here to share our like insights and experience, and hopefully just get inspired and feel like we're in the same boat and we're gonna do 2024 together. Thank you for writing in the chat. I love to see that you're from Stockholm, Switzerland, the UK, Netherlands, Germany. I love it that we are marketers and people that want to know more from all over Europe. It's so fun to see. Thank you. But I'll start sharing in a way that you can, so you can see better. But let's just jump right into it. So, as I was saying, it's a struggle right now, being a marketer. I guess it always has. The feed's so competitive, I think maybe more than ever, especially since, I think maybe since start of November, when people started to advertise for Black Friday and all the way up to Christmas, the feeds have been crammed with especially paid ads, of course. So it's a competitive market right now, and it will continue to be, of course, throughout 2024. And maybe I should just start by saying that when I mean, we have so many different social media goals. Obviously, they're very individual and they're company and business based, and you have different objectives for everything. So I thought we would like focus on a few of them, just to make it a bit more comprehensible. Of course, I want to invite you to our Facebook community that's called Video for Social Media. We are a group of people here at Storykit, marketers, customer success managers, client managers, user engagers, that just make sure that you get a weekly dose of inspiration and some how-tos and best practices, especially in Storykit, of course, the tool that we are. And I'll of course send you this link after the webinar. So, but search for Video for Social Media and please join. It would be amazing to see you in it. Today's agenda and what we'll cover today is, of course, I'll bring up what I've been researching and what I believe are some of the keys to social media success in 2024, to actually get attention on the content that you've been producing and getting people's eyes on it, and some tricks to make sure that all of the stuff that you've been creating actually gets the attention that it deserves. How to actually reach some of the goals that I will be discussing. And we want to do this without burning out, because marketing, I said this before, but I wasn't in marketing 10 years ago. I tried to do some sales that didn't work. But I'm under the assumption, at least, that marketing used to be a much more one role kind of job. It would be, you would be working with event marketing, or you would be working with now branding or PR or strategy. But these days, especially if you're working with social media, you have 10 different hats on at the same time, because social media is everything. It's brand, it's events, it's the PR and employee branding. So there's a lot of stuff. And I actually, I've read that social people working in social media are very, there's a high risk of people burning out, and we don't want to do that. And then, of course, we'll have a look at how to turn your existing content, because that's what Storykit is all about, giving it a second life, turning it into video. And these days you can do it with just a few clicks. And I'll make sure that there's time for Q&A at the end. I thought I also might introduce myself, because some of you maybe haven't met me before. So hello to you. My name is Heidi Bordal. I work as a community manager here at Storykit, meaning that I distribute the content that our whole team puts together, especially our content manager, all of the articles and our newsletters and blog posts, case studies, making sure that they go online and that they're reached by our audiences. So it's a little bit of everything. I'm gonna have a quick water sip. So, as I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, there's so many social media goals, of course. We have different ones, but I thought that just to give you an idea, or like put this in a context, I thought that we could focus on 3 of them, which I dare to say are perhaps the most common ones. And these are, of course, that we want to increase our following on our social media channels, maybe LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, Threads, whatever your choice of platform is. But we want to increase the following, because that means that we improve our brand awareness. And we want, of course, people to know who we are, what we do. And then we want to grow our web traffic, because that's most often where the conversions happen. We want people to read the full articles so that they get an idea of all of the knowledge that we share. We want them to go to our website so that they can book a demo if you're a SaaS company like we are, or download an ebook that we've spent a lot of time writing, all of the stuff, you know this. And of course, we want to boost engagement on the platform because that's a way to build trust. And even though we talk a lot about vanity metrics and likes won't lead to any sales, but still it's, of course, we want people to feel something and to have spark emotions when we put this stuff out there. So to do this, and this is where the challenges comes in, is that if we want to increase our following, if we want to build brand trust, we can't just post every now and then. No brand has ever grown on social media by posting every once in a while. 20 years back, a marketing manager could say that, okay, next year we're going to do 2 or 3 huge TV campaigns. But these days we can't say, okay, so next year we're going to be on Instagram 3 times. We need to post a lot. High activity is, according to me at least, like the uttermost important thing that you could do. And if we want to grow traffic to our website, we need to get people to the website. So we need to convert them not only on the website, but also on our social channels. And to boost the engagement that we want, we need to spark emotions. And we will, of course, look into how we do this and the best ways to do it. You might know by now that I base these webinars on an article, which is a great way of repurposing something that someone wrote. And in the article that I will also, of course, send you a link to, how to reach your social media goals, we talk a lot about SMART goals. And I don't want to spend your valuable time by talking about something that you already know. I'm sure many of you know how to set your proper goals and how to make sure that your social media goals aligns with your business objectives. But also just for putting it in context and giving you an idea of what we're doing and hopefully help you to do the same, I've decided to set a SMART goal for T1. You can work with quarters or tertials. We do tertials, so I'm talking about T1 here, but it could be Q1 as well. So my SMART goal, or one of the SMART goals that I have for LinkedIn, is to grow our LinkedIn following. Because that's what I always want to do. Because that's how I make sure that or we can make sure that all of the content that we're producing, that it's getting the right traction. So SMART is an abbreviation for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound goals. So the specific one is that we want to grow the LinkedIn following. It's measurable because I aim for a 30% growth, because in 3 tertials, that would be around 100%, and I want to double this year. It's achievable, maybe it's not achievable, but I try to make it achievable by posting content daily and to interact with our audiences. So I make sure that 1 post Monday to Friday, and try to comment maybe on 3 to 4 other posts a day, just to get some traction to our page. And it's supposed to be relevant, of course, and I figure that it is, because increased following means increased brand awareness. And I think my managers would be very happy if I could say that 13,000 more people know who we are in 2024 than what they did in 2023. And it's time bound. It's set for a tertial, means that if I set a goal for the whole year, it can be quite tricky to go back at the end of 2024 and try to see if this actually happened, because I mean, so much happens within a year. The world can change in so many ways, obviously, as it did in 2023. So I try to limit myself, just because it's easier to reflect for a shorter amount of time than a very long one, obviously. So I'm going to try to break down the 3 goals and try to provide you with the solutions. So if we're supposed to post a lot, as I was saying, where do I find enough content ideas? First, I just want to mention the undeniable impact of consistency, because now I'm probably really sounding like a broken record, because I spend some time in every webinar talking about consistency. But I think that whatever like marketing job I were to take in the future, I will never leave Storykit, but I would be very bound to the my idea that consistency is key on social media. And I got this quote from a person named Braden Cohen, used to be a manager, at least formerly a manager of social media marketing at Hootsuite, that huge social, I think it's a publishing platform or whatever. He says that daily posting will grow followers 4 times faster than posting less than once in a week. And this, of course, makes sense, because more posts means more visibility. But I also know that there is a fear among a lot of marketers that you risk boring your audience out by posting a lot. But I believe that there is no such thing, because for once, people choose to follow your business pages and your accounts because they want to hear what you have to say. If I'm not interested in a company, I'm not going to follow them. But if I'm interested, I'm going to follow, and I want to know what they're doing, what you guys are doing. So post a lot to increase your reach. And if you post something that you don't feel 100% like secure about, or you're not really sure if this post is gonna like take off and go viral, well, don't be afraid, because if you post something that's not really good, it's not going to get a lot of reach. So not a lot of people are going to see it. But if you post something that's good and that really resonates with your audience, it's going to get a lot of traction. It's going to get a lot of reach, because more people will engage with it. And the algorithms are going to think, this seems to make sense to a lot of people. I'll keep pushing it out. So distribution, how much distribution you get, how much reach you get, that's linked to the quality of the post. Either it's just going to go to LinkedIn's, or I'm going to focus on LinkedIn here. I hope that's fine. It's either going to go just to LinkedIn's graveyard, and that's fine. You'll do a better post tomorrow, or it's going to take off and it's going to be seen by a lot of people. So don't be afraid to post a lot. And it's also the only way to gain the insights on what resonates with your audience. They're only gonna, you'll only learn what makes sense to them by posting a lot. If you post once a week and something doesn't really work, well, how do you know, how are we supposed to know why it doesn't work? But if we post 5 posts for 1 week, publish 5 posts, we're gonna much quicker see what is resonating and what's not. But okay, so you're telling me that I'm supposed to publish something daily. How on earth is that possible? Well, we managed to do this because we follow something that we call the 90-10 rule, meaning that 90% of all of the content that we publish, perhaps even more, it could be 95 these days, is repurposed from the sources that we already have. So it's our blogs, our case studies, an interview we did maybe a whole year ago, but still relevant. And of course, these webinars, everything, almost everything is made from something that already exists. We have a super productive content manager, Maddie. She posts at least 2 articles a week. It's my job as the social media team in quotation marks, to get it out there. And I never have to, grab something from the thin air out of the blue just to come up with something to post, because we already have so much. And I know that you do too. You've spent the hours and you've put in the efforts to write the long blog post, and someone else on your company put together a really good job recruitment. Make that a social media post. And then the remaining 10%, that could come from other sources of inspiration. That could be that Hootsuite publishes a new report on social, or WizOwl are just releasing their state of video marketing for 2023. I can do a lot of posts on that. I do some memes just because we deserve to have some fun. And they're also really good for reach. All of that. So, but it takes the majority of my time I spend repurposing, and then I find something fun, and then I can just, I have my plan for the week already done, so I can grab something that I see online. And this keeps us posting multiple times across a lot of channels, but the production time's already spent. So it doesn't take us a lot of time. And I want to show you, this is actually, I'm going to repurpose now an asset from a previous webinar on how to fill your content calendar, because I know I love to see how other marketers do or organize the content that they have in use. So I'm going to show you an example of our content plan. Now here we are. So I hope you can see that I've changed my screen into a tab. So this is, you will get a copy of this later. And what I've started to do for January, I'm a bit behind because the holiday was, I made sure to relax a bit more than I should have maybe. But what I do here is that for every month, I take a couple of blog posts, the ones that I really like, or the ones that really took off in 2023. They deserve to get some more attention. I put them in here. These aren't linked now, so they could be. Okay, so this is the plan. This is almost like a library. These are the content, longer pieces of content that I want to focus on and make sure get some attention and distribute in January. I have a few blog posts. I have a case study that we did a couple of months ago. Of course, we host this webinar, so I want to drive traffic to the one that I'm doing today. That's part of January. I've been doing that up until now. When I've hosted this webinar, I want to, of course, make sure that people can find it afterwards. So I'll make sure to repurpose the ones that we've already hosted as well. Then we have some thought leadership. That's probably a whole webinar on itself. But I could just quickly mention that I used to be really scared of thought leadership back in the days, because what is it? It sounds super complicated, and who am I to walk up to any CEO or founder and ask them for their time to make a whole interview? So I decided to make it a lot easier for me, and I recorded our founders, because they have a lot of great knowledge. I recorded them for maybe 10-15 seconds. I had my CEO talk about a movie that he saw very recently. He went to the movie theater, and I had our other co-founder talk about guitars. But what I do afterwards is that I Slack them a question. Could you give me just one example of X or Y? What do you think is the most thing to focus on in 2024? Slack, meaning our chat program platform that we have internally on Storykit. And I get back a sentence, and I use that by just using their interview recording for 10 seconds, but I keep it on silent because no one turns the sound on LinkedIn, for example. And then I just copy paste the quote. I paste it into Storykit, and then I have the asset with them and the text overlay. And that's thought leadership. I haven't filled that out in the plan yet, but you get the idea, hopefully. And then I'll make sure to do some employer branding because that's always really nice. It's great for reach that people can get an idea of who's working at Storykit, who you'll be meeting if you become a customer, or maybe you already are, so you get to meet someone behind the scenes. I'll make sure to do a quick video for this month is going to be Sophia that's working with us. And then, of course, there will always come up with some, there will always be some new stuff happening. So maybe I'll do something about how to plan your events, because that's what I'm currently doing. Maybe I could share something about that. But that's the, I'll just make sure to fill that out when that happens. And then, so this is the plan. Then on this side of the sheet, here's my distribution calendar. So what I will do, for example, then, I have this article in the plan called Reach Your Social Media Goals. I make sure to distribute that with at least 5 videos in a week. And it's super easy because the text has already been written. I have all of the information that I need. I only need to copy paste the URL. I'll show you how in a few minutes. And then I will just distribute those 5 videos that I made with just a few clicks. And then I have a content calendar for a whole week. Next week, I'll do with another post, and then I'll just jot in some other stuff that I want to get in there. So that's how we at least make sure to publish a lot. Okay, so we are supposed to publish a lot. The 90-10 rule is a great way of making sure that actually happens. So now we're supposed to drive traffic. And how do we create content that converts? That's a tricky one. I've always been quite scared of converting. I got really comfortable, perhaps you could say, with creating in-feed content because if I have a whole article, I can just, for myself, easier put down together some key takeaways. But making trailers, I always found that a bit more difficulter, more difficult. But there are ways, there are workarounds for that as well. But how are we supposed to drive traffic somewhere when all of the platforms are ignoring the posts that we do that are only links? Meaning, if I want to get eyes on a blog article, back in the days, you can just post the link into a LinkedIn post and fire it away, and people will click on the headline or the header. And links can be good, of course, but the problem is also that they will only be clicked on by the most dedicated people. So someone that's looking for the exact type of information that you've written about in your blog post, people, the most dedicated people to that are absolutely going to click it. But asking someone to click on a link is actually asking for a lot, because if you see that an article has a reading time of 6 minutes, I'm not sure that I have time for that today. I'll probably just keep scrolling. And they will never be boosted by the platforms. I'll show you why in a bit. And now we're actually jumping right into a solution to this, because what I believe, or what a lot of people believe that you should do instead, is, of course, using videos. Because if we want to get, now I'm gonna rewire my brain here. I'm just gonna maybe jump to the next, but okay, this is a whole mashup of I'm saying a lot of stuff on this slide. I'm sorry, it will make more sense in a while. But since links are never boosted by platforms, you will get less reach for it. But turning in what you have on the link into what we call, people call snackable bite-sized pieces of content is better for distribution, and it's favored by platforms. I use an example that one person, we can call him Alex. Alex is scrolling on LinkedIn, and he finds, as I was saying before, he sees a link to an article that he believes like, oh, this could be a very interesting article for me to read, but I don't have 10 minutes. I'm just about to hop off my metro. Well, if I instead then give Alex 3 key takeaways from this article, he's able to consume that while he's actually on the metro just before the next stop. And maybe I'll have to give him 3 snackable pieces of content before he actually decides to click on the link. He will do that maybe the 3rd time. But I've given him so much value until then. So not only will he will have consumed more of Storykit than he would have if he only clicked on a link. And maybe by the time that he changes jobs and someone mentioned that he needs a new video tool, he's been consuming 3 or maybe 10 different snackable pieces of content from us, and hopefully that's going to turn into us being top of mind. I hope this is making sense. But here's a good example as to why have I not been showing you my sorry, maybe I was still showing the distribution. I'm sorry for that, the distribution plan. I'm here now. I'm with Elon Musk here, as you can see. Still learning this webinar thing. Sorry, let's get back into it. Here's a good, here's some sufficient evidence why you should be posting something else than links. Why we should be posting something else than links. Elon Musk tweeted back in May, when it was still Twitter, that the more screen time a user spends looking at a post, whether it's a text, a picture, or a video, the more it will be boosted. So video posted on this platform will be boosted more than an external link because way more time is spent watching a video than clicking on a link. Thank you, Andreas and Renee. Okay, you've been seeing my correct slide. Thank you so much for letting me know. There was like a green arrow on my screen share here, so I was thinking, oh, hey, I'm somewhere else. Back to it. So this is something that Elon says, and maybe we don't always trust him, but I think this goes for every platform. They are going to favor a viewer spending time 10 seconds on the platform instead of leaving it. It makes a lot of sense. So if we want to drive traffic, do it by turning it into a lot of snackable pieces, and you can put the link in comments so that the platform will see, oh, here's someone that spent 10 seconds looking at this video from Storykit. Then they clicked on a link. There's not much they can do about that. But it's also going to mean that the post had someone went into the comment section, which is also favorable. So if we want to drive traffic, doing the short and punchy trailers is great. Sounds like you need to do more job, but it can be done really fast, I promise you. And as I said, we'll have a look into it soon. Okay, so the 3rd goal, we're supposed to boost engagement. Well, how do we create content that sparks emotion? Because I don't get very emotional when I see a link. But if I can use all of my senses, if I can get some cool information while also getting some visuals, that is going to spark a lot more emotion. And I'm sure that you know that video is the best way to convey your storytelling. So video, of course, we're back at it. That's the best way to spark emotion because it captures attention, meaning that you're more likely to stop scrolling if you see a moving visual rather than a piece of text. It is great for engagement. I'm not going to give you all of the pros of using video because I mean I've been, even before I started working at a video creation company, I mean we've been told that we're supposed to use video for a really long time. And it's a flexible medium, it's versatile because your text will always be the same, but in video you can present it in so many ways. You can change some backgrounds, you can change the song that goes with it, you can change the intro, you can flip the text around. Super easily done in Storykit, of course. So we have the 3 goals, the 3 challenges that we need to conquer. But what is the solution? All in all, I know I'm probably supposed to host a lot of more webinars that when the only key takeaway is supposed to be, well, you need to do it with video. But what's even more important to me, I think, and what's a bit more comprehensible perhaps, is that the solution is repurposing. And I love video. I would never want to do marketing that's not video based. But what I really want to tell you is that you should be doing more of the stuff that you already have. Because if we're supposed to come up with new ideas every week, every day, I mean, we're not gonna be able to do it for very long. And you've spent so much time, or maybe someone else in your company spent a lot of time putting together a whole article, or interviewing someone for a case study, or putting together a whole webinar. Make sure that all of that time and all of those effort doesn't go unseen. So repurpose what you already have. And it's, it's a, maybe not a buzzword, but it's a word, get thrown around. But what I mean with repurposing, just to give you like context, is it's a strategic process. And strategy sounds always so scary, but it's a process that you transform your gold mine of content that you already have. I've had a look at some of the companies that I know that you're coming from, and you go on a website and like there's so much cool things, and it's so good because it's already been approved by yourself or by the management or whatever, because it's online. It's on brand because you know that you're using the right tonality and you're using your the brand of tone of voice that you should, your brand voice, and you have the words are already there, so so make sure to use it. Just distribute it in new ways across your social channels. New content doesn't have to be better content, doesn't have to be new content. You have the good content already. And there is so many possibilities and so many upsides to this, because when you change something around, you can always reach a new audience. If you have a long report that someone spent a lot of time putting together, you can divide that up into so many different pieces of content, and you can talk to different people all the time. Maybe the stakeholders and the investors, they want to read all of your great numbers that you did in 2023. This is how much revenue we got in. While someone in the public, I mean me, could be more interested in the sustainability efforts that you've made. That's going to build trust in me. Or maybe your employees are going to know what your efforts to your work environment were, you know? So you can always turn it into a lot of snackable pieces and you will reach new people with it. And it allows you to reinforce your messaging, your key messages, what's important to you, your point of views. Recognition is so important now. You have to stay on brand and you have to keep, I was hammering in those things that you want to say, because by the time that you're really sick of what you're saying, that's when it's starting to stick to your audiences. And this will simplify the planning process. I hope that I made it clear when I showed you the distribution plan and the content library. I know what to post in 2 weeks because it's already on our webpage. And that saves me a lot of time with the ideation process, and saving time is saving money. And at the end of the day, what we want to do is just go to our managers and say, look how much I published last year. I stayed active on the social platforms. And that will make us feel good, I hope. So when we talk about video, we never aim to say that you should replace something with video. This is not to remove something that you've done and put and do video instead. It's about giving your content a second life. And these days, with video, it's easier than ever to give all your great content a new life. And I've been talking for a long time, so I'm just gonna show you how we do this. So now we're back to the browser, but instead I am going to jump into the tool and I'm gonna jump into Storykit. So I hope you see that now instead. So I'll be using our AI. Maybe some of you have heard it before about it, or maybe you've already been using it. If you are a Storykit user and you want to have access to the AI, just send us an email to either your customer success manager or the support, and you can opt in. That's totally just done by a click. You just need to do it for the sake of GDPR and those things. So this is what we do. And what's great with the Storykit AI compared to a lot of other AI programs is that I will only be creating videos with the AI based on the content that I provided. So our AI will never leave my input text and go online and search for more information. It's going to stick to the input text, your article or your newsletter or your case study, and you will make sure that you stay on brand and that you own the copyright and that it's just your wordings. So I'm gonna go to a blog post. You can't see me typing this in, but I just went to one of our blog posts. I'm gonna copy paste that URL. Now I'm in the tool, and we have a lot of different. This is still in beta, perhaps I should say, not the whole AI, but the campaigns feature. So this allows me to turn one URL or one copy text into up to 6 videos, minimum 4. And there's a lot of different ones depending on your input text. So if you have a new article, we can turn it into some summary videos and short teaser videos. If you have a product, you can just click the URL, copy the URL from your product page and turn that into videos, all the way from top of funnel awareness down to converting decision actionable videos. Yeah, informative videos. If you have a news item or press release, you can promote a case study with up to 4 videos, your newsletter, your website, any web page that you have. So now I've chosen a blog post, but I really want to show you the news item or press release campaign, because this one turns videos into, they turn it into different videos for all your main channels. So I will get one that's optimized for LinkedIn. I will get one that's optimized for Instagram, Facebook, and with the different formats. So I think I'm going to go for that one. I click on URL. I'm just going to make sure. Oh, sorry. I see your chat now. You don't see the screen. I'm sorry. Can you believe it? That I had I've been doing this for a whole year and still I forget. I'm sorry. I'll go back. This is where I was talking about the different campaigns. And the one that I want to show you specifically today, because I really like it, is how to promote a news item or press release. So this is what it looks like. This is the campaigns that you can choose from. We'll be using the campaign feature today and not the usual Storykit productive AI. Okay, so I have my URL. I'll copy paste that into this one. If my blog post is in English and I want to turn it into Swedish videos or Norwegian or why not Portuguese or why not Slovenian, I can translate it in the tool. But I will do English today. And I make sure to choose the theme of my liking. We have a few different ones because depending on where you want to post or who in the company is doing what. We have a Halloween theme here that maybe we should delete. Okay, but I'll choose my regular one. Sounds good. And then I will just click on generate videos. And the AI is now going to the blog post, scraping all of the content on that URL. And this always takes a few seconds extra when you're screen sharing and you're nervous and all of that. But we'll get there eventually. I will see if there are more questions. Now you see it. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you, Linnea, everyone. Thank you so much for being so patient with me. Okay, how's it going? Oh, it scraped the URL. It's writing the scripts. We can see that it's working. It looks good. Writing. And sometimes I think that the videos are so good that I can publish them straight away. I don't need to do any editing. Sometimes I know what I'm looking for, but I want to start with a draft, which this allows me to do very easily. So I have a LinkedIn trailer here. Reach your social media goals in 2024. It's a great short and snappy video to drive traffic. Here's a trailer optimized for TikTok. So this is in the 9:16, the standing portrait format, because we know we have to use that on LinkedIn. Here's one for Twitter in 1:1, also very short and snappy. Facebook, the 4:5 format that I like. It's Meta's favorite format, so they favor 4:5 format. That's great. And then there's one for Instagram. And since every video we publish on Instagram these days also turns into a reel, it makes it in 1:1. 9:16. But I often publish on Instagram in one because I think that looks really nice on the profile. Cool. Let's do one more campaign, or actually, let's do one with the general the general AI that we have. Click new script. I will copy paste my URL here instead, and it goes to get the content, and then I can choose whichever creator I want to. So we have a bunch of them here. This will only give me, this is like for one video, so not up to 6, but 1. So if I want to make a teaser for driving traffic, I have a bunch to choose from here. But depending on if it's a press release, it's a recruitment ad, a case story, I can go for another type of creator, is what we call it. And the creator is a name for the output video that you want. This is a blog post, so I will probably do like a 3 takeaways or maybe a summary. I think I'm going to do a short 3 takeaways, which is great for in-feed consumption, in-feed consuming content. I'm just jumping a bit in and out from the platform here so that I can keep an eye on the chat. But it's scraping. Being nervous means being very thirsty. Here we go. So, harness your 2023 content for 2024 social media success. So we get a little bit of background. The first key takeaways, I use to set SMART goals, what they are. The second key takeaway is to repurpose your 2023 content and then convert it into video. So this is really the 3 key takeaways from the blog post. We can do edits here, like choosing different assets, but I can also choose to go into the storyboard and then make some cool edits there instead. It gives you a really good outline for starting somewhere. So this is one of my favorite types, slide types, but I'm actually going to duplicate that one and put, I think this is a bit too much text, so I'm gonna divide it into 2 instead. And then maybe I could change this to key step 1, key step 2, key step number 3. And I want to make it a bit more, oh no, they want me to refresh. We have a new feature. I'll just go ahead and do that. It doesn't take very long, I think. I'm gonna choose just to keep it a bit more alive, if you could say that. It also went to my URL and chose and picked up some pictures. So if you don't have a library of assets, it will grab that from the online. But I'll just choose some other assets that I like. Okay, I like this one. That looks good. And I'll take this beautiful forest. What I want to achieve with my assets is just to give some nice visuals in the background. They don't always have to align perfectly with what you're talking about. You can just choose whatever you want. I think that there could be did I choose this one? No. I think that there could be, I want to change this CTA. So since this is in feed, I will just harness your 2023 content for 2024 success. we go. I think flip text is a nice one, but I love, for example, frame. Oh, too long. Here we go. I'm going to choose. Hello, where are we? I'm going to take the coffee cup there. Okay, now you can see I'm like, I'm starting to have a bit too much fun. But this feels good. The AI has also given me some a music, a song example, suggestion, and also made some transitions. So I don't need to think about that. We have a question in the chat while we create the video. Linda says, I can actually put this one. Wait, sorry guys, I'm still with you. Here's a question from Linda. Perhaps you already mentioned this, but is it possible to create templates based on your own corporate branding, fonts, logo? Absolutely, Linda. Definitely. If you guys have some time, I would be happy to show you. But yes, you see everything that is Storykit in my video. Everything that says Storykit, our fonts, Helvetica now, our colors, the blue, the green, the light gray, the logo, of course, everything you can, that's our theme. And whatever type of subscription plan that you have in Storykit, you can upload your own theme. And you can have several. So maybe you want to do some videos with the white colored logo if you have one. And sometimes you want to do one with your green logo. You can do that. We'll just make sure that this generates some time. Meanwhile, we have a question from Valentina. Does AI get images from the page you got the content in? Yes, so it grabs your like header image from your blog post, but you don't have to use it. You can change it into any other type of pictures. Doesn't have to. So you can choose that yourself. Okay, our let's see. Our video has been made. It's done. And in just a few minutes, I have a video to distribute my article. You can make as many changes as you want to, but it gives me something to publish, which is just great for me. So we can look this through, but why not have a quick look at themes? Because this is actually a question that we do get sometimes. And here are my themes. So I can build a completely new one, or I can perhaps take this that my sister had very fun in creating. It's very pink. She's 14. She's uploaded her own logo that she made in, I think, Canva. She chose some cool fonts. So this is all based on your company brand guidelines. So it will always be on brand, and it will be much more recognizable in the feed. People will know instantly that it's from your company, Linda, which is super great. And you add all of your colors that you have in your brand. If you have several, many of us do. You choose, you can have different fonts for different pieces of the text. Is that how you say it? Like if you write your headlines in one and then your paragraphs, your body text in another, you can just upload those as well. You also have rule sets, meaning that if you give the ability for a lot of people in your company to create videos, you can have rules. So your intro will always be one type of slide, or your body text will always be written in another one with another slide type. So you can really stay in control of your brand. Guys, so we made 6 videos, no, 5 videos today, and I've been talking to you for a long time. I'm so happy that so many of you stayed with me. And yeah, just remember that there are ways to get more eyes on the great content that you already produce, and that's what we are all about. Giving it the attention it deserves. We have a lot of different social media goals. These are some, and hopefully some, solutions to the challenges that we face. Don't start from scratch if you don't have to. That's fun sometimes, but leverage what you've already been creating instead. Renee says, thank you so much. I learned a lot. I'm so happy that you did. Thank you for joining. I will send out my keynote. I will link to the blog post that we created videos from, and I will also include a link to the distribution plan and the content plan so that you can use it yourself. Just make a copy to the file and start plotting in your own stuff. We will send the resources out hopefully during the day. We're in an education day, but you can watch the recording whenever you want to as well. Thank you so much for being here with me. Thank you for chatting with me, and thank you for your patience when I'm not sharing the right screen. I'm glad that you found it useful, Andreas. I'm really happy. So yeah, thanks Katarina for wishing me a great day. I hope you have a great day, guys, in Switzerland and in Norway and Germany and wherever you are. Linda asks, very good webinar. Looking forward to download distribution plan. Calendar plan, great. You go. 2024 is going to be a good year. We just have to do some. We just have to work smarter and not harder, but that's easier said than done. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Afaf. Thank you, Zoe. I'll let you guys off the hook now. And then I have some lunch when it's time. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.